Hi algebra students, it's Miss Bratt. Thanks to Miss Santoro for doing the first couple videos. Now it's my turn. We've been working with literal equations for the last couple days and we're going to continue to work with them. So right now I need everybody on page 16 in their packet and we're going to look at number 2. So we're going to skip number 1 for right now. We're on page 16 in your packet and we're looking at number 2. So number 2 says the formula for area of a circle is A equals pi r squared. Express r in terms of A and pi. So whenever you see express r in terms of, express means we want to solve for r. And in terms of A and pi, just means that A and pi have to be in your answer. So I like to rewrite the equation first. So A equals pi r squared. And then I'm going to circle the variable that I'm trying to solve for. So in this case, we're solving for r. So I want to get everything without an r on the same side of the equal sign. So right now, a doesn't have an r, and I need to get that pi over to that a. So because the pi and the r have the invisible operation of multiplication happening, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide each side by pi. Doing the opposite gets these pi's to cancel. Whatever I do on one side of my equal sign, I have to do on the other. So I also have to divide the a by pi. So right now I have left a divided by pi equals r squared. So everything we've done so far wasn't new. This is where it might be a little tricky and confusing. So right now, just like we said, the opposite of multiplication is division. The r is being squared. And the opposite of squaring something is to square root. So the opposite of squaring something is to square root. So because I did the opposite, these automatically cancel out. But again, whatever I do on one side of my equal sign, I have to do on the other. So I'm going to square root the whole left side of the equal sign. So right now I have left the square root of a over pi, or a divided by pi, equals r. And if you wanted to rewrite it, or if it was a multiple choice, it might appear like r equals the square root of a over pi, or a divided by pi. Both of those answers mean the same thing. They are equivalent. So that's number 2. If you have questions on number 2, please make sure to bring them with you tomorrow or message us on Schoology. All right, moving down to number 4 next. We're going to skip number 3, and we're going on to number 4. So number 4 says to find the value of r in the equation v equals pi r cubed. So it's very similar this time, but instead of squared, now we have the cubed symbol. So I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to rewrite the equation, and I'm going to circle the variable that I'd like to solve for. So again, just like in number 2, I want r by itself. So the pi and the r are being multiplied, so I'm going to do the opposite, which is to divide both sides of my equal sign by pi. Because I'm doing the opposite of multiplication, which is division, these cancel. So now I have v divided by pi equals r to the third. So before we just said the opposite of squaring was to square root. The opposite of cubing, which is an exponent of 3, is to cube root. So it's the same as a square root symbol, but then we put a little 3 down where that little caret thing is. And again, whatever I do on one side of my equal sign, I have to do on the other. So this cube and the cube root cancel each other out. Now I'm left with the cube root of v divided by pi equals r. Again, if you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow or message us on Schoology. Next, we're going to flip over to number 6. So in number 6, they want us to solve for m. So again, I'm going to rewrite it first. And then I'm going to circle m because that's the variable, which just means letter, that I want to get by itself. So the first thing I need to do is get that 4 to the other side of my equal sign. So because the 4 is being multiplied by the square root of m, I'm going to do the opposite, which is to divide by 4. Whatever I do on one side of my equal sign, I have to do on the other. So now I'm left with t divided by 4 equals the square root of m. So this time we have the square root of m, and we want m all by itself. So we just said that the opposite of square rooting is squaring, exactly. So I'm going to square both sides of my equal sign. So when I'm squaring something, I'm just putting an exponent of 2. So my square and my square root cancel. So I have m equals t divided by 4, the whole quantity, squared. And that's number 6. So again, if you have questions, message us on Schoology or bring them to class tomorrow. So we have a little treat for you guys. You have no independent work to do for these. We're going to work on page 16 and 17 in class together. So you don't have to submit a picture of work that you did independently for this lesson. See everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.